need to know about conflict, and here's how we handle conflict God's way, is knowing that sometimes conflict can't be avoided. Sometimes something needs to be said. Sometimes something must be said. If my child is being mistreated, what do we do as parents? We must speak up on their behalf, right? We must come and advocate for them. I think about this once again, and this is not the case. Be very clear on this. If one of our church staff members was living immorally, once again, as pastor, I must speak up. If I were living immorally, it would be on the church staff and on the church deacons and on the church personnel team to speak up and to confront that, however difficult and controversial that may be. Sometimes there are things that happen and conflict that comes that can't be avoided. If I know of wrongdoing, then I must speak up. And that can and likely will lead to conflict. So I think the first thing that we need to know as believers, we try to get along, right? And we know very clearly through the epistles and all through the New Testament, over and over and over again, the New Testament writers talk about unity within the church. You read almost any of the Pauline epistles, and Paul is talking about unity within the church. We are to be a unified people, but unity doesn't mean that we sweep things under the rug that need to be addressed. So not all conflict can be avoided. So I think that's one of the first things we need to know. As we think about handling conflict God's way, is knowing that sometimes conflict does need to come. I think it's also helpful to say, as we handle conflict, let's say Brother Gary and I aren't seeing eye to eye on something, which is not the case. Once again, these are hypotheticals. But let's say Brother Gary needs to confront me about something. There's a right way and a wrong way to go about doing that. There's a right heart and a right attitude that comes along with doing that. So I think that's also helpful in knowing sometimes conflict can't be avoided, but conflict should always come in a spirit of Christ-likeness. So know that not all conflict can be avoided.